Hello guys, how are you? I'm good. My name is Untitled for those of you who do not know me, and for the returners, welcome back to the channel, you guys. To the new subscribers, Ngiyanibona guys, and thank you so much for choosing to stay. So today I will be talking about something that is very sensitive to me, and I have a box of tissues just in case I cry. So yeah, today I will be talking about my experience with dealing with an absent baby daddy. So for those of you who are still interested, please do keep watching. Bam! Okay guys, so this video is going to be long, but I'm going to try to make it short so that it at least does not exceed half an hour when I edit it. But you know, there's probably a lot to tell, but I have tried, you know, to prep myself just so I have a structure to the whole thing. But yeah, you guys know me, I like to set context so that you guys know where the whole thing, you know, came from. Just a little bit of background so you guys know you know where you are in the picture. Okay, so for those of you who do not know, I do have a daughter. She is 4 years old now. Yeah, so this is what happened, ne? Baby daddy and I met. Where did we meet? Okay, baby daddy and I first met at a dorm room at Res. His friend and himself were coming to visit one of my friends, and I happened to be at the friend's room. So when they came in, it was sort of like 2 by 2, ne? They'd only come in there for my friend, right? And so what happened was he saw me and they greeted, and they sort of like didn't know what to do after they saw me because they just anticipated to find my friend alone in the room. Okay, fine. So that was the day that we met, that I actually saw that there's this guy at Res, and I was just like, okay, bye, fine. So fast forward to one day when he, you know, I was coming from the clinic on campus, and I sort of saw him when I was approaching, and he'd, you know, been asking me out, and but I was just like, you know, not about that life. And so what he did was he stopped me. And I can, you know, even in my head now, I can think of the place where he stopped me. So he stopped me and he said, I want nothing else from you. Like, I just want you to have my child. And I was just like, that is so weird. And like, who does this guy think he is? Yeah, and then, okay, that happened. And then he did ask me out. I think it was from June. It was from the beginning of June or end of May that he asked me out, and then I eventually agreed to the whole thing sometime in July. Yes, just before we left school in end of June must have been, and then I came back in July. So when I come back in July, he's like, okay, you know, the other day when I stopped you on campus and this is what I said, actually I do mean it. And I'm like, you mean it? He's like, yes. And then he's like, you know, I don't have parents, I don't have siblings. I had 5 siblings and they've all passed away, and my mom passed away, my dad passed away, and my grandma who took care of me also passed away. So I feel like I do not have a purpose in this whole life thing, and I feel like I need somebody to live for. Okay, so now this was the context, you guys. So I, with my boyfriend at the time, while he was asking me out, I had already known that, you know, I want to be a young mom, and whatever it takes, Mogel is just going to do that thing, and I'm going to be a young mom just so I can get this whole thing of giving birth, you know, put it on the side and then pursue my career freely. Okay, so I'm like, okay, no, it's fine. I also want a child early, but I did think that I was going to have my child end of BTech, so that I don't go to school for that year after BTech, and then I will return and come and and then I will apply to for work after having stayed that year raising my child. I think I knew that I had a good support system. I mean, my mom wouldn't I knew my mom wouldn't throw me out to the dogs, and I just felt like, if I don't give birth now, then I probably won't, because I knew what an ambitious self I am or person I am, and then I'm going to just put this whole thing of giving birth until it's too late, according to me. Okay, fine. So I agreed to that, and then we engaged in unprotected sex for the month of July. Once we returned from home, beginning of August came and nothing happened. He really got frustrated. I remember him being so frustrated because he was like, after having lost my parents and having lost everything, now I can't have children. And then I was like, no, these things take time, just relax, what. So yeah, guys, Usbani was planned to the T. Stupid 20-year-olds planning a child. Okay, fine. So in August I conceive, and then I remember telling him that I missed my period. He's like, you missed your period? I'm like, hey bolo guy, what does he mean I missed my period? Okay, so he's like, okay, no, it's fine, I think we should buy the test and then check. So I told him that I have googled, and the test is more accurate with morning pee. So he was like, no, it's fine. He'll ask his roommate to give him space, so that that day I can sleep in his room, and I can wake up and I can pee, and we can do the test, and we can see the results together. And I was like, okay. And then I did the test, and obviously it came up positive. And I remember we took a picture of the pregnancy test and we put it on social media. Guys, yes, I did that, a whole meme. Okay, anyway, so we did that, and then he was like, oh my gosh, like, what? And then he's like, no, but don't worry, it's fine, I'm in this with you, and whatnot. Okay, yeah. I won't lie, shame. During the pregnancy, he was so supportive, as best as he could. He was very supportive. He would try and call. Of course, I wouldn't be satisfied because of all the hormones, and just because I feel like, Jay, I have high expectations in Jay. So I wasn't satisfied, but when I look back now, I think he tried during pregnancy. Like, I honestly think he did try to be available, to call, to check up on us, and yeah, pretty much. So when did he start showing signs of being irresponsible? So if you haven't watched my giving birth story, you can go and watch that, but I do not mention anything about him anyway. But what happened was, I got my contractions, and then I was sent to the hospital. And so when I get to when I get to the clinic, okay, so what I do is that I call him and I tell him, I've started, I am in active labor and whatnot. In fact, I didn't call him. I texted him that I'm in active labor, but please do not call me because I think I'll just sob. Okay, fine. So I give birth to Sbani, and then I ask him, are you going to come and see the child at the hospital? And he starts with his stories, and he's just like, he's mumbling. I don't understand what the hell is going on. So that was just like the first point of downfall of the entire thing. Oh, and the fact that I gave birth without him you know, telling me where we should come to go to ubiga isisu. I don't know what you say in English, but that's when you go to the guy's family and tell them you're pregnant and there's a child, you know, from this home that's coming, whatever. Okay, so that was sort of a red flag, like me going to the point of giving birth without him giving us an address or of where we should go. And then secondly, when he didn't come to hospital to see me with the child. Okay, fine. So fast forward, he and I keep dating. Still, oh wait, just before we keep dating, let me go back to after I gave birth to Spani. You guys would know that right now you have to do an unabridged certificate, which means they need the information of the mother and they need the information of the father, and they only give you 1 month to register the birth of the child. So I kept calling him, please come so we can do the birth certificate, whatnot. He never came. Okay, so okay, another red flag. But in any way, fast forward, we continue dating, and then I stay at home for the year, and I come back excuse me, I come back to school. Well, when was this? 2017. I come back to school 2017. We are still together. If you need to watch my video of what I did with my inheritance to sort of get the context of what happened there. But eventually we broke up. Okay, so when we broke up, he sort of didn't call me, and so he didn't call the child. And then fast forward to that, I'm doing a lot of fast forwarding, guys, because the intention of the entire video is to talk about how the situation of dealing with an absent baby daddy, you know, pans out. So he started calling and swearing at myself and my mom. He would just, you know, say he wants his child. He's not going to pay any money because he's unemployed. Don't we all know that? And he was just he was just, you know, a lot. And then he, you know, he just got out of control. Every time I would pick up the phone, I wouldn't even get a hello. I would just get insults left, right, and center, you know, for the entire 2 minutes. Even I don't even know why I kept my phone, you know, on and listened to him. But I remember just deciding, Yazini girl, like, let's just leave this whole thing. Block this guy from everywhere he can access you. Because I even used to send him pictures. He would just say, when are you going to let me see my child and whatnot? And I would tell him, I do not have a problem with you seeing your child. The only thing is that you need to go home and see your child. Yabo? So in any way, I will do another video just on our relationship only. But basically that's what happened. And then I decided, you know what, girl, this thing is not worth it. Just drop this guy and do this thing alone. If he wants to be in the picture, he will make the effort. You've already told him what he needs to do to come and see the child. He just needs to go to your home and tell them, can I see the child? And then he will have access to the child. And once he has done that enough, then he can, you know, take the child for visits and whatnot. But because he's behaving like this, there's nothing you can do. Just you know, block him and just carry on with your life. You've got a great team behind you. Surely you'll be able to do this. And I think the one thing that, you know, kept me sane at the time was that I already played out, because I'm a little bit of a pessimist, so I already played out in my head what's going to happen if this guy decides to leave and whatnot and whatnot. So I was sort of kinda ready. So yeah, and then one day I just woke up and I was just like, girl, you're gonna do this thing alone. If he wants to come to the show, he has to do it the right way or no way. Yeah. Okay guys, so this is the part where I'm going to start looking at my notes, because I've sort of written the things so that the video goes fast. Okay, so what are the challenges of having, an absent baby's daddy? Okay, so the first one is that you have premature conversations with your child. How do you explain to your child that, your father is somebody you have never seen? Because not necessarily that she's never seen him, but she doesn't remember him because she was too little at the time. So you just have, and plus the boyfriend that I got after my baby daddy was very active in my child's life, so my child thinks that that is her father. Now she has, having to teach her to unlearn all of that, that's actually not, the, what do you call this, that's not the case. This is not your father. Your biological father is who and who. This is where he's from. And explaining that to a 4-year-old is just, it's a mess. Okay, it's a mess. See, and then the second thing is not being able to afford the same things for your child as your peers. And by peers I mean that, the people that I'm working with or around, the group of friends that I have at the time, because we probably met from work or in the same, circles, and we are probably at the same level of earnings, I can say that, excuse me, or they are even higher, but they'll have access to baby daddies who are responsible, and I don't have that, right? So if anything that I give my child, I have to remember that, girl, remember that it's just you. There is no active baby daddy in the picture. It's just you. So whatever financial commitment that you make, you have to ensure that you personally are able to afford it. Okay, another challenge is having other children ask your child, where is your father? And I don't know, I actually don't know how to deal with that. Okay, I ignore it. And of course she always makes reference to my ex-boyfriend that I got after her dad, and she thinks that that's her dad, and so that's what she tells other kids when they ask, where is your dad? But I don't even know how to deal with that. I just keep quiet and I let her answer or whatever, and I just go but it's not nice. It's just like, okay, so for how long is she going to have to answer this question? It's sad. Okay, and then the other challenge is finding a partner that loves you and is willing to become a father figure to your child. I won't lie, shame, after my baby daddy, the 2 partners that I've got after that, they have tried their absolute best, especially the one that I got straight after him. He was like willing to do anything and everything. He took her to ballet classes alone. He did everything. Whenever he went to town, he bought her something. He even introduced her to his family members. He was just there, available, nje. And even the one that I got after that, very supportive, would ask me if he called me, he's like, when last did you speak to Sbani? Very active when it was Sbani's birthday this year. He went, like, I asked him to buy us cake, and I was just joking. I just wanted to see if he'll do it, like, nje. And he did that. He bought the cake, he bought chips, sweets, the whole party. He did everything. And even with, there's a lot of other scenarios where he showed that I'm taking the whole package, yabo. If I'm taking I'm taking you with everything that you come with. So I've been lucky in terms of that, but it's so hard to look for somebody that loves you, you love, and is also willing to be a father figure, and not just accept you, but being a father figure to the child. then it's difficult. I won't even lie. Another hard one is Father's Day, and I know this one is going to be fun. It's going to be a challenge, you know, for the rest of life, because Father's Day, who is she making her card for? Guys, I laugh because if I don't laugh, I'll cry. So yeah, Father's Day is a lot, and she just looks at other kids with envy, and it's just like, it's bad. Another challenge is your child not having a sense of belonging. I mean, you know, for me, my parents weren't married, but you know, I knew who my father was. I knew that, you know, this is where I belong, and I call myself, you know, Utandongonezi right now, because I feel like I can use that clan name, you know, proudly, because I know where I belong. This is me. You know, when people say, you know, I'm just like, because, you know, I've got that sense of pride of, yes, that is exactly where I belong. I know who gave birth to me. I have like a good sense of belonging, and to know that there's a high chance that my child might not have that, because I do keep it in mind that, you know, he might come back, and if I'm being honest, I am hoping that he does come back. You know, I really am hoping that he does come back. So that's the thing as well with partners, that I'm constantly like, you know, when I get a partner, I have to explain to them that Spani's biological father is not in the picture right now, but were he to come back, I would really like to give him the opportunity to, you know, be part of the child's life, because I understand that she will always have that longing, that, you know, I wonder what it could have been like to be raised or be a part of my biological dad's life. And you know, some guys don't understand that, but it's just how I prefer it. Another challenge is relying on one side of the family. Recently, my mom got a job. She was staying with my child, and so by virtue of her getting a job away from home, it meant that you know, Spani then does not have someone to live with, and I because of the commitments that I have and the whole admin of having her move with me, you know, finding a nanny, whatnot, and just some of my other personal issues, you know, I can't move her now, and so now the choice is so limited in terms of, so what am I going to do now? Siblings, cousins, you know, whatnot. Whereas if there was, you know, that side of the family, I trusted them, you know, then it would have been easier to sort of say, can you guys just have her for this year and maybe next year while I finish my studies, and then after that I'll take her, you know. So I have a very limited option in terms of family, and so I rely on one side of the family, and it's not nice. It's not nice. I won't lie. My family is very supportive, both my mom's side, my dad's side, and I think they would offer their help were I to ask. But there's that thing with me as well, like I wonder if I had the option of sending her to her dad, like, or to an aunt, like what would it be like, yabo? So it's not nice. That's all I can say. Okay, so as you guys know that, yeah, you know, in any situation there's always, you know, but silver lining. But there's always at least a positive that you can take out of it. So some of the perks about not having a present baby daddy is that I get to make big decisions alone. If it has anything to do with my daughter, I make it alone. Where she goes to school, you know, like big decisions, like proper financing decisions, I make them alone. If they fail, I can easily go, whoa, maybe that didn't work, and you know, I retract. So it's just like it's a bit, that's a bit nice, or it's like sort of a positive out of the whole thing, that you know, you don't consult anyone to make decisions, you just make them yourself. Okay, and then the other perk that, now this one is my absolute favorite, because I used to see my sister and my mom struggle, and I was just like, let me kill this, guys. Okay, so this one is because of his dad not coming with me to Home Affairs. The father section in his Bunny's birth certificate has got, you know, dash, like there's nothing going on there. There's no information on anyone. So, you know, Home Affairs doesn't know about him existing, you know, because there are so many reasons why that space could be blank. I could have been raped, I could have been whatever, you know, I could have been fallen pregnant at a club, whatever. So what I do is that I bring her unabridged certificate and my ID, and I can go through. It's fine, because there is no father in the picture. I do carry an affidavit just in case, but usually they don't even ask for it. They just like, oh, okay, you're the only person that's, you know, here, and so just bring both of you guys passports, and then you can go through. So that's something that's nice. Isn't that nice? I don't know, I enjoy that part. That's like one of my favorite things about this whole thing. Okay, now what are my fears about, you know, now going forward? My first fear is that my child will resent me when she's older for being irresponsible and, you know, having her and not waiting to get married and secure a family and then have her. So yeah, I do fear that she'll one day resent me or low-key hate me, you know, or have issues with regards to that, and just it will sort of make our relationship not work well. And in that sense as well, like if I, you know, get a partner like the two that I've got after her dad, and then I decide, you know, this relationship is not good for me, she's a child and she doesn't see that whole thing. She just sees me leaving potential fathers and sort of an opportunity to fix the problem, yeah. So, and then I'm just like, no, this does not work for me, and I don't consider her. But really for me, I feel like the partner should be my partner first, and I need to be content with the partner that I have at the time, and then Bunny is the following point to take. And so I do feel like she will hate me, low-key, high-key hate me for those kind of things. So that is fear number one. Another fear that I have is that what if I fall pregnant again, out of wedlock again, because life happens, out of wedlock again, and then I get the same problem again. Now what that would mean is that I would have to downgrade my life again, and have double of the challenges, you know, that I have, or you know, at the same time, if I get somebody that is actually serious about me and then marries me, and you know, I sort of, you know how mothers just like one child or that one child, and what if that one child is not her, and now she feels angry because I don't, you know, love her, because yeah, but she you know, she's the child that I got out of wedlock, and it's now like I'm prioritizing kids in the marriage. And oh guys, I fear a lot of things. I'm really scared of those kind of things. The last fear that I have, in terms of what I've written today, is that what if I get a partner and he pretends to like my child just so he can get me, and when he marries me he starts ill-treating my child just because he knows that, you know, she has no other place to go to and call home, because home right now for Sibani is where Ugogo is where I am. So what happens when Ugogo, God forbid, passes away? Yabo? And then I'm the only one who's left, and then she doesn't feel at home in that home that I have created with my then husband. So what happens in that case? Yabo? And so those are my fears. I feel like there's a lot of drama coming after this, and it's very unfortunate that I have to deal with that decision that I took at the time, and things that I don't have power of you know, controlling now. I can control the fact that I'm available for the child, but I can't control the fact that the father is not available for the child. So I just, you know, I'll just have to live through it. I'll just have to make a way and see how everything pans out, and we're probably going to cry a few times. We are going to you know, to hold each other's hands and tell each other it's going to be okay. But I really don't have a recipe in terms of how you do this thing. But for me, it was really important that if he was in the picture, he was in the picture properly, or not at all. And I don't think my properly was exaggerated. It was just honestly minimal things, like come and see the child at home because the child stays at home, and that's all I'm asking for. And let me see you try and contribute towards you know, raising the child, even though you do not have money or such. So it's very hard, I won't lie. And to anyone currently in the same situation, you know, I understand, I feel your pain, but girl, we move, we get knock-ons here and there, we fall, but we move at the end of the day. So yeah guys, that's about it for today. That is my story, and guess what, I didn't cry. I really surprised myself, because while I was rehearsing the whole thing, I really became emotional. So I honestly thought that I was going to cry at some point in this video. So I'm so proud of myself. Yeah, in any way, that is all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching up until this far. For those of you who have, I know the video is very long, so thank you so much. I love you for it. Please do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Remember, subscription is absolutely free, so help the girl out, okay? Yes. And that's about it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching.